Hello. It's Thursday, April 24th, 2025, the Jackson Jumbo Shrimp hat. Nice. Where'd you get that?
Yo, this was a gift from one of my good brothers named Luke.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Rocking the jumbo shrimp today.
Rocking the Wade Boggs Devil Rays shirt.
Nice.
So,
That boy Wade.
yeah.
Yeah, he's when I think of Wade Boggs, I always think about you just destroying me in MLB The Show with him. It's like
Yeah.
I could try to pitch around you, and somehow you would still make contact. But that's how Wade Boggs was, though. That dude
Oh,
could
yeah.
hit the ball all over the plate. Um, but April 24th, I'm going to hit us with the on this day, a little baseball history, and maybe you have the same one again for the third week in a row. But I just got a couple quick ones. One of them you might have because it is a pretty big event. But in 1901, Chicago defeats Cleveland 8-2 in their first American League game ever. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool stat. Shows you how far back the White Sox go, and had to mention them. Because I'll always be a Cardinals fan, but I got a little love for the White Sox, especially after going to the game recently, and the fans that you could just that have been there for years and years and have been through roller coasters with the White Sox. But super cool team, I've always thought, and I think they'll be pretty exciting in the next couple of years because watching those young guys in Charlotte. I mean, some of those guys will be up in no time. Some of them are already popping up. Edgar Caro, I think is how it's pronounced. He's already been tearing it up a little bit. So, and he's a big name prospect. I think he's about top 10 prospect in baseball as far as catchers, top 10 catching prospect. So, one more. I'll just go ahead and throw it out. Hopefully, you don't have both of these if you had any of these, but Sandy Koufax strikes out 18 Chicago Cubs and a 10-2 victory at Wrigley Field. So just had to throw a little Sandy Koufax out there because we don't really see 18 strikeouts that often. I mean,
No.
14 this season. I mean, we're still early in the season, but 14 is still pretty good for this season. That's Max Meyer. He's got the record. Mackenzie Gore is pretty close to it. He's had two 13 strikeout games. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah. If you want to trade him over to me too, just let me know. I'll be glad to take him off your team.
Probably not. He actually just got me a quality start against the Orioles, so
Yeah.
need as
Yeah.
many of those as
He's
you can
he's
get.
nasty.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's nasty.
So I actually didn't have either of those. I did see both of those though.
Oh, good.
Mine back in 2003, by a guy you might know, Chase Utley. So
Yep, that boy Chase.
in just his third career at bat, Chase Utley hit a grand slam off Rockies starting pitcher Aaron Cook for his first career hit. Have you seen that video?
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that's pretty impressive. So gotta love Chase Utley. And then I had a couple happy
Yeah.
birthday shout outs too. Omar Vizquel,
Mm,
Mike Blowers, Todd Jones, Chipper Jones, and Carlos Beltran. Happy birthday to
nice.
those guys.
Beltron. Guy's a beast. And Chipper Jones. Um, yeah, speaking of Chase Utley, I just watched a video recently and it was Jose Reyes talking. I was a huge Jose Reyes fan, and that dude was
Yeah.
I wanted to mock his game when I watched him play. Um, Mets legend, and he said he was talking about his relationship, like how Philadelphia just absolutely hated him, and he was just really hated in Philadelphia, and then him and Chase Utley did not have a good relationship at all, and I think they maybe played on the same team at some point. I don't know if it was like Team USA, or whatever, but they were both playing, short second, and he said throughout the whole game or series, whatever, they didn't even speak a word to each other because they just don't like each other. But thought that was kind of interesting, just a little throwback drama. But it was what was
Yeah.
it
I
for? It
remember.
was for a slide. Yeah, and it had a little bit had to do. He
Yeah.
was upset with a slide that Chase Utley took out somebody. I forget who it was, but
It was
kind of Jose
Ruben
Reyes though, man. That dude.
Tejada.
Yeah, Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and I remember back in 2015 when Jose Reyes was on the Blue Jays, and at the very end of the trade deadline, he got traded over for Troy Tulowitzki. Jose Reyes got traded to the Rockies, and I remember he wasn't too
Yeah.
happy about it.
Yeah, it would probably still be about the same feeling today, I would imagine, because the Rockies
Sort
are,
of.
ouch. Yeah, I don't know. I really expected more from the Rockies this season. A couple guys getting settled in there. Tovar, Ryan McMahon had a good season last year. They had Michael Tolia come up, and he hit 25 home runs this season, so they expected him, I think, to be off to a little bit better of a start. Hunter Goodman and I don't know, some of those outfielders, just Zach Veen, Jordan Beck, they haven't been able to stick. So, yeah. I'll go ahead though, and I'll get us going on some things. I wanted to mention Jesse Chavez, since I brought him back. I brought him up a while back about getting re-signed with the Braves organization, him and Krimble, and Chavez just got the call back up. He actually was doing pretty well in AAA. He had a 1.42 ERA in 6 games, 6 innings, with 12 Ks. So he was rocking and rolling in AAA, and he's made his way back up to the Braves. And he's already pitched a game, I believe, maybe last night or today. But they already got him going, and I think Kimbrel will probably be following behind him before too long. I think he might be. I think he just had his first start in AA, maybe yesterday or the day before. So kind of cool. The Braves probably need whatever they can right now. They haven't really got off to the hot start that everybody pictured them to, but they've been down a lot of guys too. So with Strider having his issues and Jerks and Profar, and it's just been kind of ugly for the Braves. But I don't think that the Braves are going to be anything. I don't think their fans or anybody will have to worry about them. I'm sure they'll still be a contender.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, I just wanted to mention that because Jesse Chavez is still out there doing it, man. He's 41 years old now, so him and Charlie Morton, I believe, are probably the oldest, or at least they got to be.
Yeah,
Um,
because well, I don't know if Rich Hill is on a major league
oh
roster, but
yeah,
he's like 44, 45. That's
I
if he's
thought
on a
Rich
major
Hill
league
did get.
roster right now.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know if he's on a up in the majors. I don't think he's up yet. I think I could have swore he was on a AAA team though, and I'm pretty sure he is somewhere. But yeah, that's to keep going at that age. That's something special.
Yeah.
But yeah, his I was looking at his stats. I mean, he's pitched in 654 games. This is Jesse Chavez. So that's the 4.24 ERA, and he's got over 1,000 strikeouts and over 1,100 innings. So not terrible, but to keep your body up and healthy that long and keep going, it's pretty impressive. But we'll move on from the exciting news of Jesse Chavez, and you can get us rolling on the next topic if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. Speaking of the Braves, they just won a series against our Cardinals, and man, what is going on with the Cardinals right now? And I'm not really talking about the offense, and even the starting pitching has been horrible lately. We're going to talk about the bullpen and its troubles as of just in the last 7 days. I mean, I don't. I mean, it's kind of expected, I guess, if you're a Cardinals fan, but still disappointing to see. Just a few guys to mention the bullpen recently. Phil Maton, who as a late or when the season started, he was doing pretty good. The last few innings he's pitched the last 7 games, 3 1/3. He has a 10.80 ERA. Jojo Romero, who was really good last year, he started off the season pretty good. Again, in the last 7 games, he has a 13.50 ERA. And Ryan Fernandez, who has been a disaster for the Cardinals, but keeps getting put in. Last 7 games, his ERA is 18. Just last night against the Braves, he let up a go-ahead home run, multiple go-ahead home runs in the last week, but last night to Eli White, I believe, a 3-run shot in the 8th inning. So, I mean, what's your take on the Cardinals bullpen right now?
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. I kind of expected this. I think most Cardinals fans did. It's they didn't really go out and make any moves for one. I mean, they picked up Phil Maton, which started, like you said, he started off great. I was actually considering picking him up in fantasy for some holds, but yeah, I mean, these guys had pretty good seasons last year, like Jojo Romero and Fernandez, even. But majority of Cardinals losses this year, I believe, at least the ones I'd have to look back, but I know that we were talking about it in our fantasy group chat, and a majority of the Cardinals losses this year come from the bullpen giving up the lead.
Especially in
So
road games.
that's when your bullpen is cost. Yeah, and when your bullpen's costing you games like that, I mean, it just tells you like we don't have a strong bullpen, and that's not going to be. You can't go after some of these teams in these other divisions if you're for in the playoffs. So, I mean, I don't really consider us a playoff team. I think even um, management knows that. Like we're in a complete rebuilding stage. I mean, anything could happen. It's baseball. But without pitching, you're not going to make it far at all. Especially looking at some of these other teams who they have in their bullpens and who's coming out for them. I mean, it's some of these teams did it right, but Cardinals did not. They're gonna have a long season if it looks like that all season. And if they're either gonna have to bring up some of these young guys or go out and make some moves if just to make it less painful for the team and for the
Yeah,
fans.
and not only that, but and they've actually played pretty well at home, but their issue right now is playing on the road. I think they've
Yeah.
only won either 1 or 2 games on the road this season total, and we're a few weeks into the season, getting close to a
Yeah.
month. So that's that's not good. They have
Hmm.
to have one of, if not the worst road records right
Yeah.
now in baseball. So I mean, if you're going to be a contender, you got to have at least a decent bullpen, and you got to learn to win games on the road. So
Hmm.
we'll see. Like you said, we'll see if they call up some of these young guys. I mean, at the very least, but it's not looking
Yeah.
good right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And you definitely don't want to rush the young guys up there or anything, but I don't know. What else do you do? Maybe give them an option and see if they can do any better. If things don't get better, it's really all you can do.
Yeah, and the other thing, like I was saying, the offense is good enough, in my opinion, to make the playoffs. But as I said before, it's the pitching what matters the most because you can't bail your team out.
Hmm.
Every single game you give up 9, 10 runs, or you blow a lead in the 8th inning and try to come back in the ninth against the
Hmm.
closer. It's hard to do. So
Yeah. Yep. I agree. Not looking good. And yeah, Cardinals are sitting in dead last right now. So I'll go ahead and give us our divisional standings. I'll give everybody a little update on that. Um, because we're a good 25 games into the season now. Um, So Cardinals sitting at dead last at 10-15, along with the Pittsburgh Pirates at 10-15. Bottom of the bucket. Um, Obviously, they both have their issues. Even it seems like the Pirates are almost in the opposite position as us. They have some really good pitching talent over there. They just don't have a great offense. Um,
mhm.
Then the Reds are sitting at third place at 12-13. Brewers at 500 at 13-13, and then the red hot Chicago Cubs at 16-10. Man, that Cubs are going crazy. I think that's who we predicted winning the NL Central this year. They keep it up. They have a good way or good shot to take it all the way. I mean, they put up with those NL West teams recently, the Diamondbacks and the Dodgers, and they were super impressive. So I expect the Cubs to be like that all season, most likely leading that division. The NL West, Padres are up 17-8 is their record, so they're looking pretty good. That whole division is Giants 17-9, Dodgers 16-9, Diamondbacks 14-10, and then obviously the Rockies are off to a pretty terrible start at 4-19, completely lopsided. Poor Rockies, man, because that division is tough. NL West, I'm glad the Cardinals aren't in that division. At least we still have a shot to make it close in the NL Central. And then going to the NL East, the other red hot team, the New York Mets, are at 18-7. Philadelphia at second with 13-12. Miami at 11-13. Washington 11-13. And then the Atlanta Braves at 10-14, sitting in dead last right now. I imagine that will change. By All-Star break, that'll probably look a lot different. At least with Atlanta not sitting in last place, but like I said, it's baseball. Who knows? Maybe Miami finishes strong this year. They got a lot of fun players coming up and popping off. So we'll move over to the AL now. So the AL Central, Detroit 15-10 at first place. Cleveland 14-10. Kansas City 11-14. The Twins are at 9-16, and then the White Sox are at 6-19. So, I think the Tigers have a really good chance to win the division. I think I had the Royals winning it originally. Tigers, I think they have a pretty great shot to win that division, especially the way they finished last year. AL West, Texas Rangers. Your Seattle Mariners at 14-11, Houston at 13-11, the Angels at 11-12, and then the Athletics at 11-13. So actually looking pretty close over there at the AL West. Those top three, Texas, Seattle, and Houston. I expect one of them to be in first, but hey, the Angels and Athletics are giving it a little bit of a run. So. And then the AL East, Yankees 15-10, Boston at 14-13, Toronto at 12-13, Tampa Bay at 10-14, and then Baltimore at 9-14. And do you expect Baltimore starting off this bad?
No, I didn't expect them to be like spectacular, but I still expect them to be, better than what they're playing right now.
Yeah. Their pitching is they're a little bit opposite than us. Our starting pitching for the Cardinals hasn't been too bad. It's our bullpen, like you said, but Baltimore's starting pitching has been terrible. A lot coming from losing, some of their main guys, Grayson Rodriguez and Zach Eflin, and not having Corbin Burns. So they had to replace a lot, and some of those guys are just not doing it. But that is your divisional standings. Make sure to get those out maybe every other. Maybe we'll start doing it weekly just to get them out, because every baseball can, in a week of games, a lot can change. So next week we might be in a different spot for some of these teams, because some of these divisions are pretty close right now.
Yeah.
And what did you have for us?
Yeah, I just kind of want to take a couple minutes to talk about the Mets right now. Kind of talking about a little about them earlier. They've won 7 straight. They had a perfect homestand, of course, a 4-game sweep of the Cardinals, and then a 3-game sweep of the Phillies. So, and a lot of this has to, their offense has been pretty good, but a lot of it comes from their starting pitching. So some of their pitching stats, from their starting pitching, a 2.2 2.43 ERA. This is during their winning streak. 2.43 ERA, 1.11 WHIP. 6 wins from that pitching staff, 3 saves, 9 holds. In 7 games, their entire pitching staff only allowed 2 home runs and struck out 76 batters. Now, starting at Griffin Canning, he had 2 wins this week over the last 7 with a quality start. 1.64 ERA, 1.18, 13 strikeouts. Clay Holmes, he had a win, quality start, 1.50 ERA, a 1.00 WHIP with 6 strikeouts. Kodai Senga, he's been amazing all season long so far. He's impressed me a lot. He had a win. He has a 0 ERA, a 0.88 WHIP with 4 strikeouts. And Tyler Megill, a win, also a 0 ERA, a 0.94 WHIP with 10 strikeouts in his last start. And their best hitter, arguably right now, Francisco Lindor, in 30 at-bats in the last 7 games. 14 hits, 4 home runs, 8 RBIs, and a 4.67 average. He had, I think, 2 leadoff home runs, a walk-off home run. Yeah, he's been going nuts. This whole team's just been doing good. So,
yeah, they have. I think probably the best pitching in baseball right now is coming from the Mets. No doubt about it, and they're probably the hottest team in general. I kind of kicked myself for dropping Mark Vientos in fantasy. I dropped him and picked up Josh Young, which they're pretty similar profiles, I would say. But I think Mark Vientos being on the Mets, if he gets things rolling, which he has been since I dropped him, of course, he's been hitting the ball a little bit better. That Mets team is just, they're pretty loaded. So I expect Acuna to stay up playing. They're getting ready to get Jeff McNeil back as well. Not sure where he'll play. I've actually heard that they were trying him in outfield. Not sure how that'll stick, but him, Vientos, and Acuna, Pete Alonso, Juan Soto, Nemo. And then they get Francisco Alvarez. He's supposed to be coming back. I believe he's coming off the IL this weekend. So that's another big thing for the Mets rolling in if his bat gets going. So he's still young too, and Francisco Alvarez is only at 23, I believe. So I'm pretty curious to see what he'll end up doing. I'm sure it'll involve a lot of home runs, but now that he has some more people around him, they'll probably help contribute to stat wise for all of them. So. But yeah, the Mets are it right now. They're definitely a playoff team, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
I know it's early for playoff talk, but some of those teams you can just tell.
Yeah, for sure.
Since I did the standings, I'll go ahead and I'll just mention the top 5 for a few different categories, and then you can hit what's next. But for batting average, top 5, we have Aaron Judge hitting .415, Pavin Smith hitting .383, Paul Goldschmidt hitting .383, Brendan Donovan hitting .356, and Bryce Trang hitting .346. Home runs, Corbin Carroll now has 9 home runs, tied with Kyle Raleigh and Tyler Soderstrom, all for first. Tommy Edman, your best friend, with 8 home runs, tied with Fernando Tatis, and then Mike Trout and James Wood also tied for 8. So next after that is 7, and then it drops down to Jazz, Wilmer Flores, Aaron Judge, and Kyle Manzardo. And Matt Mervis and a few other guys too. There's a lot of 7s right now. Matt Mervis, Brent Rooker, Schwarber, Torkelson, and Kyle Tucker. So some long balls from some good players. James Wood, man, that dude's gonna have a great season, and he's one of your fantasy guys too. So that's exciting. RBI leaders: Wilmer Flores with 27, Pete Alonso with 26. Aaron Judge with 26, Kyle Tucker with 25, and Corbin Carroll with 22. So pretty cool for for those guys to get it rolling like that. Your hits leader, Aaron Judge, 39, Goldschmidt, 36, Bryce Terang, 36, Alex Bregman, 33, and Corbin Carroll, also 33. No, the only last one I'll go ahead and do is just steals. Top 5 for steals. We got O'Neal Cruz with 11, Pete Armstrong with 10, Ellie De La Cruz with 10, Randy Arozarena with 8, followed by a long list of people with 8 actually. So it's Andres Jimenez, Jake Mangum, Victor Scott, Bryce Terang, and Bobby Witt. So some speedsters, man. And since I picked this guy up and he's already off to a quick start with stolen bases, setting records, something maybe we could have brought up. But Luke Keyshaw for the Twins, their new prospect, top 100 prospect. I believe it's their number 2 Twins prospect. Walker Jenkins is their first. But he's already had 5 steals in 6 games. He had 5 steals in 5 games, which he made some history there doing that. He's off to a super hot start. So good sign for the Twins. Maybe that'll get them some life because they've had a pretty rough start to the season. And I don't know, maybe when they get Royce Lewis back and get some of those bats going, the Twins will look a little bit different. But him and Byron Buxton have really been the heartbeat of the Twins in the last week. So it's really all the Twins have going for them at this moment as far as offense. But that's all I have for divisional leaders and standings. What did you have for us next?
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit about one of my fantasy guys, actually, is Jacob Wilson. Just kind of talking about his hitting approach a little bit. Now, for those who don't know, he actually just got his first walk of the season last night. It was a bases loaded walk. And in 89 at bats, he just had of the season. Now, you would expect a guy who doesn't walk, literally just doesn't walk. He had his first walk, probably doesn't hit that well as far as average goes. But actually, he's hitting 344 right now. Now, he does only have 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, but batting 344 with an 816 OPS is still really good. Now, he has a very unique stance, too, if you guys haven't seen it. Now, I compare him a little bit to guys like, Luis Arias, Jung Ho Lee, Stephen Kwan, guys who just don't hit a ton of home runs. But as far as the guys I just mentioned, they actually are pretty patient at the plate. They still, walk a lot. Jacob Wilson just doesn't walk. So, but he's still hitting like 344. He still has a ton of hits.
Yeah.
So, like, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I really like watching him at bat. It's very different. He's got a pretty unique stance and approach to the plate. But yeah, when you first hear that, you're like, he hasn't taken a walk at all season. He must not be a good batter. But it's not like that for him. He's a very great batter, and he's super aggressive early in the count, and he just has great bat to ball contact skills, and he doesn't let the count get deep. He's swinging, I think his first 3 ball at count, that might have been his first 3 ball at count he had when he took that walk. He doesn't let the count get to 3 balls or even 2 strikes. That guy is at it. He's very impressive, and I think the Athletics have a great team over there. Honestly, they're not a playoff team, but the people that they have coming up there, let them get comfortable and get in the league a little bit. Jacob Wilson he's going to be an all-star, man. If he keeps it up like that, that's a one-of-a-kind type of player. So along with everybody else they have over there, Butler, Rooker, Soderstrom, now Nick Kurtz. That's a pretty fun team. But yeah, I'm all for Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, it's kind of like a perfect example. If it works, it works,
Mm-hmm. Yep. Exactly.
And it is indeed working so far. Do you have anything else?
No, I don't think so. I think That's all the news I had. There are some games starting up here in a little bit. Not many games today on Thursday, the 24th. A lot of off days today, but yeah, I'm really focused on my fantasy lately, and man, I end up dropping Kyron Paris for Luke Keeschel, and hope that works out for me. But we'll definitely keep you updated next time on how we did on fantasy this past weekend, and or this past week, and then also we'll do a little weekend recap of all the big series that are going on this weekend. There'll be some great matchups, so you have some time to watch some baseball. Also, too, I know I told you this in text, but I'll be trying out for a little mini squad or mini tryout for a baseball team, the Charlotte Adult Baseball League. So they've already started their season, and there's a team that is looking for a couple extra guys to play. So I'm looking forward to that. I got a little tryout on Sunday. I'll be playing the outfield, and I'll be glad to be back on the diamond for the first time in a long time. That's going to be a good feeling. So maybe I'll give you some updates of my game. If it doesn't go well, most likely not. But
Yeah.
and
I
yeah,
gotta get back on the diamond too.
yeah. But we'll definitely talk about that more because actually, if I do end up making the team, games are on Monday night, so we might have a little bit different of days on putting out some news. Maybe it'll be Sunday nights we get the news out to people. But other than that, I think that's it. Did you have a crazy MLB stat, or you already did it?
I did. All right. I do have one
No.
crazy MLB stat for the video. It's involving Joey Votto, and I'm kind of surprised I haven't done this one yet. It's pretty insane, really. It just shows you how good of a hitter Joey Votto was throughout his whole career. So, Joey Votto started his career in 2007, okay? So, he went 6,829 career plate appearances before popping out to first base. So, and he went 8,131 plate appearances before popping out to a pitcher. Now, it's pretty
That's
insane.
interesting.
So, the first time he ever popped out to a pitch or a first baseman, like I said, he started in '07. The
Mm,
first time he popped out to a first baseman was in 2019. The first
Jeez.
time he popped out to the pitcher was in 2022.
The
So it
end of his
is,
career.
yeah.
That's
So
crazy. That's a weird
pretty,
stat too. I
yeah.
mean,
It's a weird one.
it's not like necessarily good or bad, but I mean, I guess it's good. Maybe he didn't pop out a lot. Maybe he was
Yeah,
more of a ground ball. I mean, he hit a lot of home runs, so I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting.
yeah, for sure.
Joey Votto is missed though. Miss seeing him in the game.
Yeah.
But all right. Appreciate everybody. Luke,
Yep.
Vinny, 643.
Yep. Peace out.
Peace.